Hey everyone, sorry about that. I apologize. I had an issue that I had to resolve. Sorry, I've been having some issues with OBS lately, so I apologize. And so give me 1 second to get everything situated now because I had to reset the stream there. Bear with me one moment. Okay. So I got to fix a few things. I apologize, everybody. I apologize for the technical difficulties. I apologize. Trying to fix a few things. I know, and I feel bad because I'm sure that we're like some of the people were probably like, what is going on here? So sorry everybody. Sorry about that. All right. Sometimes with live streaming there's some stuff that comes up that causes a few issues, but I had a few issues recently with OBS and I had to change a bunch of settings. It's been a little bit of a debacle. Luckily, I've been able to I think that was the final thing that is probably going to be dealt with, so I think we're good now. All right. Sorry about that, everyone. Sorry about that. Making sure that we're all good now. Ever since that time when I was used to stream, I was streaming in 4K. If everyone remembers, I was streaming in 4K for a while. And that was a whole thing. Alright, I'm trying to update the last piece of this, and then we should be all good. You just make sure. Okay, I think we're good now. I think it's fixed. Good grief. Ever since I was having issues with the 4K, it like has caused a few problems. I don't know if I want to bring back the 4K streaming. I probably could. I probably could. Did you let me know? What did everybody think about how it used to be? Like how has the quality looked? That's actually a good thing to start with. How has the quality looked since I switched it to 1080p 60 frames per second? My original intention was to try to reduce the latency, and also to avoid possible issues. One thing I haven't tried yet is actually streaming in 4K. I think I could stream in 4K with the newer protocol that I'm using, because I'm actually streaming in a different like setting. No issue that you've seen? Okay. Let me look real quick. I'm actually just gonna view real quick on YouTube. Let me just mute it. I want to see what the latency is. It's still almost 20 seconds. It's like 17 or 18 second delay, it looks like, still. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, exactly. It's still a little slower. Okay. All right. Well, we'll stick with it for now, and we'll just kind of have to see what happens. All right. So I'm just gonna go from there. Sorry for the little snafu. Everybody here, please give the stream a like. We've got 10 right now. We'll try to get it up to as many as we can get. Let's go for 40 today. We'll go for 40. And we'll go for 54, 60 subscribers. So 7 subscribers. Let's get into these trades. There's not a lot of trades. So honestly, this might be a little bit of a less exciting stream at the beginning. But maybe we'll get into some cool stuff. And I'll get to everyone's questions here in a minute. But good to see everybody. Good to see C. Mulligan, Jackie, Peter, Project Panic, John, Matt, all in the chat. welcome. Hopefully some of the other people that were here before that I already said hi to are back. But let me actually see. C Mulligan, you said, is price fractal on tick charts also like time-based charts? Can you do multi-time frame analysis on tick charts? Yeah, you can. I don't think it's I generally don't think that it's necessary, but you can. I think it's easier just to look at one chart. That's my way to go. All right, everybody, let's get into it. So, okay. So we were down here and up here. So we had the high, the low. And basically, that's where I drew my range for the day, was the high and the low. All right. And oh, BBM, no, welcome to the stream. I trade ES. This is the ES 2000 tick chart. That's what I trade. I don't really trade NQ, although we look at it once in a while and we talk about it sometimes. I'm an ES trader. ES futures, 2000 tick chart for the win. BBM, what about you? What do you trade? Let me know. If you do trade NQ, why do you choose NQ over ES? Let me know. All right, so anyway, we come down in this downtrend. You get a close outside new low. There already was an uptrend, close outside new high. Downtrend, close outside new low. So when I came in this morning, both of these short-term trends had played out, and we now were in this range. We had this new low, uptrend, close outside. It did get a new high. This was like shortly before the open. And so like the open kind of came somewhere in here. Forget which candle it was. I think it was this red one, or this green one right here is the open candle for the day. And it was just super sideways, and we kind of had this little spike and channel pattern where you can kind of see this like spike up, little channel. And there wasn't really any trades in here because we hadn't gotten to the midline of the range, we hadn't gotten to the highs, and we didn't know for sure that this was going to be a level that came into play. So BBM, why do you trade NQ? Let me know in the chat. What's your reasoning behind NQ, and how come you don't trade ES? All right, so then we come over here. We get a move down, and then we come up. And then basically, we get a failed breakout of this level. This dotted line is yesterday, or last week's close on Friday. So we were kind of playing with that level. We came up, failed, came up, failed, and then we got a lower high here. So there's a lower high after a failed breakout here. It's not perfect because it's kind of like a failed breakout, comes back, comes up one more time, then it comes down, and at this point you don't have a new high on this little up channel here. By the way, this all moved on me. I had it like this. You don't have a new high there, but you get a lower high back inside the range. It breaks below this swing. It does make a new low on this little down channel, so it's a little risky, but there's room there. Expecting it maybe to make a new low after failing to break out the top. This might be the range high, but it's not really confirmed yet, so it's not perfect. It is like a lower high after a failed breakout, but not perfect. You know, I don't love it. Then we get a little up channel moving up, and you get a close outside and a new high. Now this is another failed breakout. It's also a new high after a close outside of the channel. So there's reasons to like going short there. I think a lower high would have been a better setup, but you do have some room there. So it's a decent one. I just think there's a little bit of risk because you're kind of shorting to this level that you might bounce from. So it's not perfect, but it's there. I didn't take either of those trades. Then it comes down, you get a close outside, new low. You kind of form this low at this level here, where we tested this a few times now. We bounce. And then right here, I did take this trade. So let me zoom in. So you come up, you get a first entry short. You get a lower high that's also a second entry short. And I took this and I got away with one. Because if you measure this, there's only enough room to get 4 ticks if you get filled on your limit order. Doesn't have enough room to tick through. Luckily, because we enter with ATM strategies and I got in right away, it basically filled my order and immediately filled my profit. So I was fine, but then it reversed. So I had a winning trade here, but I pretty much got away with one. It's not really an ideal setup. I was taking a short in the middle of like sort of this range. It's not a good idea overall. I knew it was risky, but I was thinking that it was probably going to at least test the open price, and it didn't. It actually missed the open price and then went up. So not perfect, but it's there. Let me just check these questions real quick. Okay, so here's the thing, BBM. Here's the thing about that. The NQ moves faster than the ES and further, but it also is twice the cost to enter a contract. So if you think about it like this, when you're entering a trade on NQ on NinjaTrader, it's $1,000 to enter a contract. When you enter a trade on ES on NinjaTrader, it's only 500 bucks. And basically that means you can trade 2 ES contracts for the same cost of 1 NQ contract. And an ES tick is worth $12.50. So if you're trading 2 contracts, each tick is going to be worth $25. On the NQ, each tick is going to be worth $5 on 1 contract. The NQ typically doesn't move 5 times more or faster in the same movement than the ES. It's not typically 5 times. Maybe it's 4 times, something like that. It's not typically 5. So on the ES, if you're trading that way with an equal position size in terms of margins, it actually only requires a few ticks of movement for you to make a huge gain on the ES, whereas on the NQ, you need it to move a lot further. So keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. There's a lot more consistency on the ES because it has more volume. But curious to hear your thoughts on that. Molly, is it more expensive to trade pre-market? No, the only time it's more expensive, I think there are different margins for the overnight. I don't remember exactly how that works, but pre-market, I don't get charged more. So I don't know what time it actually shifts, but I do think that there's something to do with like holding a position into the overnight margin. I think that there's a different thing there. CJ, yeah, for sure. Thank you. Okay, so if you are BBM trading with a prop firm, you actually need to be really careful because prop firms will allow you to completely over leverage yourself. So what prop firms will do is they'll allow you to trade the equal amount of contracts of NQ and ES, but no cash account would ever allow that, right? So when it comes to like NinjaTrader, for example, like I trade on a NinjaTrader cash account, and that's my main account is a NinjaTrader cash account. And so when I'm trading on NinjaTrader, the way it works is if I enter a trade on the ES, it's $500 to just enter a trade with an ES contract. That means that I probably need at least $1,000 in my account to cover my margin. You know, you probably need really more than that, but it's really like to be relatively safe, you need to have $1,000 or more per ES contract. Well, NQ is $1,000 just to enter a trade with an NQ contract on NinjaTrader. So you really need $2,000 or more to enter one NQ contract. So technically, like if you're trading, let's say you have a $10,000 account on NinjaTrader, like on an actual cash account, you can trade 5 ES you can trade like 10 ES contracts on that if you really wanted to. But you could only trade 5 NQ contracts, and you would be pretty much maxed out at where you could be, because you might still get liquidated if it gets close to your position levels. So, I mean, realistically, let's say you have, let's just make the numbers a little easier. Let's say you have like $12,000 in your account. You're pretty much safe to trade 10 ES contracts or 5 NQ contracts. Now, on a prop firm, they won't delineate. So they'll allow you to trade with the same number of NQ contracts, but like that's super, super risky. And you would never do that on a cash account. And that's one of the things that I always criticize about prop firms. They don't treat the accounts the same way that it's treated in an actual cash account. And so I just think that they allow you to over leverage yourself. Like, to me, it's crazy. It's crazy that you can trade an account with 10 NQ contracts that only has like a $2,000 or $2,500 drawdown limit. That is insane to me that these prop firms will even allow you to do that. Because basically $2,500 in drawdown on NQ and 10 contracts can happen in like 2 seconds. Like, that is bonkers that they even allow that behavior. So just bear that stuff in mind. A lot of these prop firms don't educate people on this, and that's like why I try to do this. Like I try to tell people, like, think of your prop firm account the same way that a cash account would actually work, and that will change the way that you look at the ES versus the NQ completely. Well, yeah, Jordan, I do know why they do it. They want you to fail. They want you to fail so that you can just keep on... They don't want to pay you out. They just want you to keep failing, because that's how they make most of their money. And that is true. That's just literally the facts. Yeah, and I think you're right, Jordan. The extra margin cost... who asked that question? Molly. Yeah, the extra margin cost for NinjaTrader overnight is just if you're holding the position through the close into the overnight. After the market closes for that hour, so basically if you should close out of your positions, right? And then in the overnight, when the market reopens, it just treats it like a new session. So you just have your regular margin information. Yeah, for sure, BBM. That's why I do this. I do my best to try to educate people on this, because this whole prop firm thing is such a plague, the way that it has all happened. All right, anyway, I got to get back to these trades. Das, good to see you. Good morning. I didn't mean to leave you out there. Good morning. Everybody, please hit that like button. We're trying to get to 40 likes today, and we're trying to get 7 subscribers to get to 5460 for a stream goal. So let's get cruising. And yeah, Jordan, I think that you're right. It's that 3... I forget what time it is. It's whenever the close is, because as you can see here, like if I hover over this, the market closes for me. I'm in Pacific time, so 4 p.m. and then it reopens at like 5 p.m. the next 4 p.m. Central reopens at 5 or whatever. It closes for like an hour. You guys know how it goes. All right, anyway, let me get back to this. So I got away with the trade here. It worked, but I was like, man, I got away with one. Then it cruised up higher, and you get a first entry, second entry short off of this low. So it's like a second entry short, and it's also a triple test of the level, and that was the one that I showed a screenshot of. Here, wait, let me see. I showed this on the first stream, but it got broken. So let me go back and show this again. Here. That was in here, in the premium section of Discord. This is just for the school members. I posted this one somewhere on here. Where is it? This is our during the session feed. So you can kind of see here. Where was it? Oh, come on. Did I skip it again? No. No. Am I tripping? I could have sworn I posted a screenshot of that trade. I know that I took that trade. I know that I did. Where is it? Where is it? It was up here somewhere, maybe. Right here. Here it is. There's the trade. So that was that trade right there. That we took. Decent one. My bad on floundering to find it, but it's there. So everyone that wants to, people probably want to know, like, what am I talking about with this premium Discord, everything there. So real quick, I'll just show you. It's right here in the link tree, pinned in the, it should be pinned. Oh, I forgot to pin it in the chat because I started a new one. Here, I'll pin this in the chat right now so that you can see it. It's also in the description. So basically, when you go in here, this is my paid community. It's only $99 a month. And you get access to that premium section of Discord I was just showing where we're trading throughout the session. I post the same stuff in here. So there's every day, there's a new feed. There's also a community section. You can post all kinds of stuff. You can see here, you can even see the wins. People posting wins, talking about different stuff going on. So that's cool. You can see here the classroom. The full course is all in here. You can learn the full strategy. We have our calendar with our call schedule. Weekly calls get recorded, put in here. You can join those live. It's basically like group mentorship calls and master classes. And it's all in there. All right. Let me see here. So, make sure I didn't miss any comments. Yeah, so CJ, so you trade ES and gold only. That makes sense. And and you're trading the micros. Yeah, the micros didn't even exist when I started trading. So that's a pretty cool feature that they have that now. Project Panic, you're saying on AMP. it's even more of a difference. You are right about that, actually. Project Panic is right about this. I used to use AMP futures, and it is only $400 for an ES contract trade, but it's still $1,000 for NQ, and I think it's still $1,000 for crude oil as well. And you can find some brokerages that'll do ES contracts for $400. So it is a bigger difference. You are right. So then we broke out the top, failed, came down. I think we get an overshoot here, because then it overshoots out the other side and then makes a new low. We didn't quite get 2 legs down. Then we had this up channel, and we get a close outside. And then we get this one, and this was my final trade today, which was like another triple test. It's like a visual second entry long. It's like a new low, pullback, first leg, pullback, second leg. It's like a visual second entry short, I meant. Visual second entry short. First entry, it's really a first entry, second entry short right here with the lower high. But that really looks like one leg. So I treated it like a visual second entry, but it's also just a triple test of this level again. There's a lower high here. Tempting, but I think it's risky at that point to take the lower high right there. It's not a great signal bar. It's close. And it's just back in the middle of that range. I think you're playing with fire there. And then it comes down. It looks like we have some sort of a possible... Do we have a wider channel? Not really. I mean, like, this would be a crazy looking channel, I think, to draw. We can draw it just to look. It does look like it's being respected, but, like, look at that. That's a ridiculous channel when it's that wide. So I don't really think so. It might be a wider. I mean, we could probably just draw something. Nah, it's just not really fitting very well. I just think that we're in a range and we're coming down to the lows here. So I don't really think there's like a channel here. I think it's just, you know, it moves down. You could maybe argue for the channel here, right? You could probably argue for this. I didn't draw it before, but short-term down channel, close outside, new low. I don't see any trade setups in here. We are bouncing off this low again, but no setup in there. So not very many trades. There's not a lot of bars. I mean, this is a slow day. Like, look at this. This is like, what? How many bars do we even have? I didn't measure it, but 168. This is about the slowest day that I've seen in a long time, to be honest. Not a lot of bars. Not a lot of bars at all. Hey, we're at 5454 subscribers. That's a cool number. I like that. Let's get to 5460 for our goal. Can everybody hit that like button real quick? We're only at 17. We're trying to get to 40. So everybody hit that like button. Hopefully everybody's still here. Hopefully the gang's all here. But everybody hit that like, hit that subscribe. Let me know if you have questions. Drop them in the chat. Let me show a couple of the free resources here. So if you go to the YouTube channel and you go to videos, one of the things I wanted to make sure I always talk about is this. Right here, you can see my price action full course. It's 4 hours long almost. It's 3 hours and 52 minutes. And it is really good, in my opinion. My unbiased opinion. But anyway, it's actual sections from my paid course that I just put together to make for free so that you could get a vibe for like what I teach and how I go about it. It's obviously not as in-depth as what you get when you join the membership, the group mentorship, because it's only like 4 hours long, and the course itself has probably more like closer to 20 hours of content. So anyway, there you go. I don't know exactly how many hours of content my paid program is. I think it's probably close to 20 hours at this point with the master classes that we've added in. Then there's this here, the NinjaTrader tutorial. This is for people who want to set up NinjaTrader for free without any add-ons. It's like a guide on how to do that and set it up for price action with no add-ons. So that's what that is. I am working on some actual NinjaTrader add-ons myself that are going to make things really good. And they're just going to be included in the membership. They're not ready yet, but they're going to be included in the membership just for anybody who joins this. So, so that's kind of to be announced soon. I should be able to start testing those pretty soon, actually. Jordan, you took some mean reversion trades to the VWAP, nothing else. Okay, yeah, that's cool. I don't trade VWAP. I used to. I just trade price action now. But yeah, there's some mean... That's basically what we were doing today, was taking more or less mean reversion trades off the highs of the range. Every trade I saw today was a short. There's no long trades today that I saw. There is one that the community was talking about, which was right here. Let me show it. There is this trade that I got away with was actually a first entry, second entry long, expecting a new high here. Not a bad trade. So there is kind of a second entry long there. I should actually just, here, let me just mark it. I didn't take it, but it is there. The only things, again, these two are both questionable trades right here. Let's mark the second entry long, though, at least. You have this little down move, and it gives you a close outside new low. It's a bullish enough bar. It's a little congested sideways, but it's fine. There is room to the highs here to take a second entry long. You are expecting a new high on this little short-term trend. The reasons that it's tough is that it's right in the middle of this area of this congestion. I probably shouldn't even have taken this short. So I'd say like both of these are dicey, and you're playing with fire. You're not really looking for second entries in the middle of a range. You kind of want a second entry on the edge of a range if you're going to take one on a range day. And you really want it to be more like a triple test and stuff. So you got to be careful with those. Got to be careful. But I wanted to make sure I actually did mention that, because I think it is still a reasonable setup to go long there. I do think it's reasonable. I didn't go long there. I was short and then got out of the trade, but that's what happened there. But I know a couple people in the paid community did take that. And I think that's reasonable. I do think that's reasonable. I just think that it's not perfect. Only these two trades today were like ones that I would say were really good. And even this one, this is one of those ones where I think you had enough room to get maybe 5 ticks right here. And that's all you could get there. It's like maybe you could get 6 if you got filled on a limit order. But at the time I was, I think I was going for 4 ticks on the trades because the bars were getting so small. So I took 4 ticks on my first trade. Actually, I think I took 4 ticks on all of those, if I remember correctly. I got no runners today. 0 runners. And you can see that right here. This one fills, stops out the runner. This one fills, stops out the runner. And then this one fills and stops out the runner. No runners today for me. But how's everybody doing? How's your Monday? Let me know in the chat. How is your Monday? See if we get any other setups here. I don't know if we will. And thanks everybody for sticking through on that stream snafu. I think everything is resolved now. The only thing I'm not sure of is if I am going to try streaming in 4K again. I might do it just because, honestly, doing the 1080p 60 frame per second setup, it's not even really that beneficial. Like, I'm noticing that it still has a big latency. And I have definitely enough bandwidth to stream in 4K. I just had that one day a couple of weeks ago when I had to change the settings. Well, there's 2 reasons. One was on Tuesday I was traveling, so I was in a hotel, and streaming in higher quality is not going to work as well. The other one was that there was some work happening on the my internet provider had like one of their servers down, so it was causing a problem on a Friday. But yeah, I mean, I would prefer it too, but I honestly don't know if it does anything, because I'm looking at the latency, and from what I can tell here, let me actually open it again on YouTube so I can see. Here, let me open the control center so I can just look. Give me a second. I'm going to look. I'm going to look on my side here where it actually is publicly. Yeah, I mean, it's still delayed. It's still delayed almost 20 seconds. It's like, it looks like it's about 18 to 9. It looks like it's about 18 seconds of delay is what it is. So even if I, even in 1080p, you guys are seeing, you can tell, just look at the top, look at the clock that's on my chart, and you'll see what I'm talking about. If you look at the clock up here, like, it's off. While I'm reading this, my clock says, what does it say? 9:14:21. So when you but like the part of the screen that you're at is probably different. So it's just off. It's always delayed. And the problem is, I looked into it. Well, I looked into it. There is a setting that you can do. There are some settings where you can change the stream priority to ultra low latency, but it gives you a big warning that your quality is going to be real bad. John, hey John, check real quick on go into the stream settings that you have in the little settings and tell me what it's streaming at for you. Make sure that it's at least streaming at 1080p 60. Let me know. Because I'll check on my phone actually. I'll double check because I just want to make sure that we're like doing it the best we can. Oh geez, sorry, volume was all the way up on my phone. Yeah, it's still delayed, but no, it's coming in good quality on my phone even, and that's in 1080p. Yeah, I can see it totally fine even on my phone. So you might be quality is auto. Yeah, you can change it though, John, to 10. Just change it to 1080p 60, you know. But you know what? Maybe what I'll do, maybe I'll experiment with it again. Okay, there you go, John. Yeah, if you have it on auto on YouTube, sometimes it'll just do that based on where you are and what connection it detects. But you want to have it on the highest quality possible that you can. I think I might try it again, guys. I might try streaming in 4K tomorrow and just see what happens again, because honestly, I don't think the latency is like gonna resolve. I thought by doing 1080p it was gonna give us lower latency, but I don't want to sacrifice the quality too much to make it more real time, because by doing that, I don't know, I just don't think it's gonna be good. All right. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna look real quick. Let me see. They have a setting in here. Yeah, see, like, let me see if I can show you guys. Hold on. No, I can't see it right now. Oh, wait, maybe I can see it right here. Yeah, it won't let me look at it right now, but they do have a thing where you can change the stream latency from there's normal low and ultra low latency in the settings, but they give you a warning that if you do it, that it's going to like not be good on the quality. So I just worry about doing it because I'm like, well, I don't want the quality to suck. Keyframe interval. Let me see. Is that an OBS setting? Project Panic? Is that an OBS setting? Let me know. Because I'll go look right now at what I have. Oh, keyframe. Keyframe used to be set to 0, but I have it set to 2 seconds now. I used to have it on 0. The reason I have it on 2 seconds is that they gave me some... It was recommended to change it. So maybe I could change that back. Yeah, let me see. Let me look up keyframe. I'm just trying to diagnose it to see if that makes sense. Yeah, they recommend... The recommendation is 2 seconds to keep a balance between video quality and bandwidth efficiency. That's what they say, at least. I used to have it on 0. Yeah, they recommend it on 2 with a maximum of 4. So I don't know. I don't know. Lower the better. I had it on 0 for a while, and I don't know. I mean, I don't think we were having very many issues with the stream like a few weeks ago. So, I mean, I could go back to... But even when I had it on 4K at 0, it was still like there's still always a delay. I don't think the delay matters that much from OBS. I think it's actually just YouTube itself, because in YouTube's default settings, there's normal latency, low, and ultra low, and I just leave it on normal because it just gives you a big warning to tell you that the quality is going to be... can get really bad if you change it. So, I don't know. Maybe we'll try it. We'll try messing with it a little bit, and we'll find an optimization for it. I'll change the settings for tomorrow's stream, and we'll see if it's we'll see how it does. We'll go from there, because I actually do like streaming in 4K a little bit more, because it does make the videos look a little bit nicer for everybody. So, I mean, there is that level. I don't know. I don't know. Or maybe we just leave it. I can also I'll try changing the keyframe interval to 0 and leaving the stream on 1080p for tomorrow, and we'll see what it does. And then we'll just kind of trial and error it over the week. If that doesn't help that much with the latency, then maybe I'll mess with the settings in YouTube, and we'll see if it really does mess with the quality too much. So, anyway, sorry everybody for the tech discussion, but I'm trying to make the stream as best as I can for everybody and as useful as I can. I don't want it to be, I don't want it to be, you know, unhelpful, basically. I'm trying to figure out the best ways to make it useful for everybody. So hopefully that helps. Let's see. All right, if you got questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat. Price action is abysmal today in terms of the speed. Hey, Das wants to see my nose hairs. I am getting older. I have nose hairs. Dude, it's a real thing. Like, once you hit, like, once you start to break into your 30s, it just happens. Classic. All right, let's get some more likes going. If you're here, please give the stream a like, everybody. We're at 21 right now. We're trying to go for 40. We're not even really that close. We're at 54 subscribers. We're hoping to get to 5460, but man, we are slow going today. He wants to cut. Das is trying to make a map of my tattoos. I do like streaming in 4K more. I don't know. We'll see. I'll mess with the settings, guys. I'll switch back to 4K, 0 seconds latency or something like that, or maybe 1 second or whatever, and just see. I haven't tried streaming in 4K 60 FPS before, so we could try that too and just see how that comes out. That might be a little bit wild, but we could try it. I don't know what... That might be too much, though. If you want to learn more, it's all in the link tree. Check that all out. We got a free Discord in there. We got everything that you need. I forget what Google has been saying about bitrate lately with that. Yeah, I mean, honestly, what I realized is that this is the last I'll say about it, I guess, is that I did find that when I was actually streaming at too low of a bitrate before. And the bitrate that they recommend is pretty high for 4K. Like, they want you to stream in like something like 35 to 40 megabytes a second bitrate. And it's hard to sustain that sometimes. Like, sometimes when I'm live streaming, even with fiber optic internet, they'll do weird stuff where I'll be like streaming fine, and then all of a sudden it will like lower and increase, and it's much easier to maintain the bitrate at 1080p. So I'll probably just leave it. I'll probably just leave it, and I'll mess with that keyframe, and that should do it. So there we go. We'll try that. We'll try that, everybody. I forget what setting I even have on right now. I do have it on highest quality, at least. Yeah, I do. High. Tuning. All right, let's see. So we're coming up towards the highs here. How was everybody's weekend, by the way? Sorry, I forgot to ask everybody. Did anybody do anything cool? Let me know in the chat. Today the price action's slow, so we might as well just have some chat while we're hanging out. Give me something to do. Give me some questions, everybody. Give me some questions on trading so I can find something to talk about here, because this price action is like slower than molasses right now. I'm about to start making dad jokes at this rate. About to start making some dad jokes. Here, let me see if I can get some dad jokes going. Nice. DOS out here replenishing bird feeders. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. That's pretty sweet, actually. I think that's cool. Oh, here we go. We got dad jokes. Dad jokes have entered the chat. Here's my dad joke. This is the market right now. What do you call a hen staring at a pile of lettuce? Ooh, let's see. I don't know. Hit me. What do you got? What do you got, John? What do you got? We're going to have to rename our stream to Dad Joke Trading Stream. Just cringe out anybody that's under the age of like 35. Hey, we got a subscriber for that. Dad, shout out to whoever subscribed after we started making dad jokes. Let's see here. Chicken Caesar salad. Nice. Nice. Shout out to John. Shout out to John. Shout out to John. John's the GOAT in the chat today. John, you're getting the GOAT award in the chat today for best jokes of the chat. Oh no. Now we got DOS started. Here we go. Did we hear about the restaurant on the moon? Great food, no atmosphere. It started. Did I hear about the guy who got hit in the head with a can of soda? He was lucky it was a soft drink. Oh, man. Dude, DOS has a... What's Forrest Gump's password? One. Yeah. Oh, man. This is a battle of the goats. We gotta do the double. We got the double goat today. We got the double goat. We got the double goats. We're gonna give one of these awards has to go to DOS. All right, Jordan. Without diving deep into my paid stuff, in essence, what am I looking for in price action trading? Let's see how to answer that. Are you wondering like what type of setups? Can you elaborate a little bit on your question? Are you already a price action trader and you're just wondering what I do differently? Or do you just mean like in general, what type of setups am I looking for each day? Is that what you mean? Just let me know. I just want to clarify so that I know how to answer the question. Oh, excuse me. I didn't mean to burp in the mic. My bad. Oh, God. Yeah, for sure, Jackie. I can talk about that a little bit. But I want to make sure that I answer Jordan's question as well. While we're waiting for Jordan to give me that clarification, I'll answer your question, Jackie. Just DOS is just going to be zinging them the whole time here, so we are cruising. Can't repeat them all, DOS, but that's awesome. All right, so Jackie, you were wondering what if it... All right, so you're wondering... You learned how to make your channels. Now you need to understand how to enter the trade after it falls outside of the trend line. Okay, so... Well, there's a couple examples today. So, like, here's an example, right? So, here's a channel up. this is outside the trend line. This is outside of that channel. So what we're doing here is using the channel for clarification, right? So you can enter the trade outside of the channel because you're expecting a new extreme. So if you didn't watch it yet, I did a trend line masterclass. I think you were on it, but if you want it, you should definitely rewatch it if you didn't see the whole thing yet, or even if you did watch it. The trend line masterclass I did the other day in school. I forget where it's in the course now. Somewhere. Let me look here. Let me tell you where I put it because I don't remember. I think I put it in section 7. Yeah. So if you go to school and you go to section 7.5 now, Trendline and Channels Masterclass, just rewatch that if you haven't watched it yet. And basically, I cover it a lot in there. Like, you can take trades outside of the channels when you're expecting a new extreme to be made on a new channel, or if the extreme on the current channel has already been made. Here's an example. This is an uptrend, close outside, and then you make a new high. So this up channel had played out. So we look for a short there if it sets up, right? So that's kind of what I mean. The other thing is, like, let's say you have one of these guys, like an up channel like this, and the price action is cruising up, and then it breaks out the bottom. But what you end up getting is some sort of like a, like one of these. Like, let's say you get, what's my hotkey for that again? Control F2. I need to fix this hotkey. But let's say you get like one of these, you know, and then it kind of breaks like this. And you sort of get like a second entry long with a really bullish bar outside of the channel. Well, you are expecting a new high. So as long as this downtrend, the short-term downtrend, has a close outside and a new low, and it's played out, then the most likely scenario here is that we're going to get a new high. You can wait for the higher low there if you want to be super safe, but that is a way to take a second entry if you get a really nice setup there. Especially if like you have room to the EMA and all that sort of stuff. You want to make sure that you still respect the short-term trend line, though. So hopefully that all made sense. All right. Yeah, for sure. Definitely rewatch it. I think that we went over so much stuff in there. Okay, cool. Okay, Jordan, you're wondering, so in general, what type of setups am I looking for? You trade the opening range breakout setups, and price action trading is a bit new to me. Okay, so that helps. All right, so here's what I do. This is generally the way I approach things. The first thing I always do is I go like this in the morning, and I look at my price action for the overnight, and I go, okay, based on the overnight price action, what do we kind of have from the big swings overnight? And for me, it was a high and a low, and it looked like we were in the middle of it. So it looked like we're probably going to have a range. So I start the day by assessing the overall context of the day. And that context can change sometimes. You can have a day that starts as a range and turns into a trend or whatever. But overall, I look at the context. And so today I went, okay, we have a range day to start. There's a big range. So I'm starting with the assumption that we have a range day. So that's the first thing. After I figure out if we have a range day or a trend day, I then draw my short-term trend lines. And I see what has played out and what hasn't. So in this case, I mentioned this earlier, uptrend had played out, downtrend had played out. So everything was new from this moment here. We had an uptrend, close outside, new high, that played out. We're in the middle of the range, right? Here's the midline, right here. We're in the middle of the range, and it's a range day. So then what I do is I start drawing my short-term trend lines, like we had this little channel, and I start playing the rules of the price action based on what kind of day we're having. So a range day, I'm looking for triple tests. I'm looking for failed breakouts. I'm looking for trades at the extremes. And then I'm also going to look at trades within trends that are within the range, and also trades after the short-term trends have played out. So hopefully that makes sense. And that's what I'm looking at. And that's what all these are. This was technically like a failed breakout at an extreme. This was a failed breakout at an extreme. This was a lower high after a test of an extreme. This was a second entry in the middle. So these are both dicey. These are the two dicey trades. This was another sort of triple test and second entry short at an extreme that was a previous range high kind of area. This was just a failed breakout up here. Another failed breakout, but no trade there. This was a triple test of a key area, another extreme. This blue line had come into play a lot as a range. So it's just a range day. There wasn't really any inside of trend like trades today. Whereas like last, the other day, like if we look at this day right here, this is Friday. So if we like took Friday, for example, there was all these little channels on Friday that you could draw. Like here's an example. You had this kind of spike in channel right here. And on Friday, because it was a downtrend day and we were within a down channel here, you could look for different types of stuff. So like this is one where you get a first entry, second entry short, lower high. I actually took this trade on Friday right here, this short right here below this bar. And that's a nice trade. It's that's a second entry within a trend. So it's what I look for in the price action and my setups, it does vary based on what type of day we have and what the overall context is of the larger price action movement that we're in. So I hope that helps. But I follow very specific rules and everything. I teach all of them in the paid program and in my strategy, and I go into everything in depth and everything. So, but that's the best I can probably do to answer it in like a few minutes. Hopefully that helps. Hopefully that helps. Let me know if that was clear, or if you have any follow-up questions, feel free to ask them. I'm trying to add as much value as I can within these live streams. So, feel free to ask away. All right, let's see here. Yeah, for sure. And Jordan, I'm going to tell you something straight up. Like, if you trade the opening range breakout and you like it and it works for you, keep doing it by all means. But I will tell you straight up, I do not like those strategies because when you trade the orb, the problem with it is that there's not really like a big edge that you have. Like trading the orb is sort of like a look, if you have a super high win rate with it and it works for you over time, then by all means keep doing it. But what I'll say is that when you trade that strategy, the best you're probably ever going to get is maybe like a 55 to 60% win rate. If you have better than that, that's amazing. But like when you manage the risk reward with an opening range breakout, like it's hard to really do it because you can trade with what? Like maybe you trade with like a 1 to 1.5 risk reward and you try to hope that you get a little bit more than 50% win rate. Maybe that works for you over time, but it's just not a strategy that has a large edge in my experience of observing it over time. And so like, because if it did, it would be like what everybody does because it would be the easiest way ever to trade. Like if it had a sustained edge that works over time consistently, then everybody would just do that because you would trade for like 5 minutes every day and be done. And that would be pretty amazing. But I don't think it tends to work for most people over time. And that's at least how it looks for me on testing that I've done with stuff like that over time. And I also assume most breakouts are going to fail. So most breakouts do fail. I mean, today's a good example of like when the price opened this morning, which I think it opened over here. Where was it? It was somewhere in here. If you took an opening range breakout, it probably didn't work. Because, I mean, price, I guess, like, if you got filled to the long side and your stop loss was low enough, then maybe. Depends on what you went for. But, like, clearly, it came all the way back to where, like, your price, where it came all the way back. Then it did go higher, so maybe it worked there. But this isn't really a successful breakout. Like, this was just you got lucky if you got filled on a long side up here. Because the breakout kind of failed. It went up and failed. Then it did go higher eventually, but you would need to ride a serious amount of drawdown, I think, on that trade if you took it. So I just think it's dangerous. And, you know, if you didn't get your target met, you probably got stopped out on this move down if you were long from it. If you were short from the opening range and you got filled down here, you definitely took a loss. So I just don't see, they just fail so often whenever I look at them. So that's just my take. Let me know if you're seeing something different, though. Let me know. I know that there's people who, like, try to sell strategies on opening range breakout. But dude, if it was that simple to be effective as a trader, everybody would do it, because it's like, it's the most simple like trading strategy ever. It's like you have a one cancels the other order above and below the area, and you just like let it happen each day. Like if that really worked for everyone, I just like it would, trading would be the easiest thing ever. And I look at those dubiously. The reason I think price action trading, what I do, works so well is that there's a significant amount of discretion in it. And there's a significant amount of like nuance in trend lines and like how you subjectively look at them that you have to develop over time as a chart reader. And it makes it extremely hard to replicate. So that's why I think it works. Because if it was easy, it's simple, but it's not easy. What I do is definitely not easy. It's just simple. It can be relatively easy eventually. It's just not easy in the beginning because there's so many things that you'll doubt. Like, oh, do I have my trend line drawn slightly wrong? Do I have a close outside? And all that stuff only gets worked out over time with experience. We are getting a new high here, first entry long. We might get a second entry long off of these lows. Now, the thing is, we've bounced from this level a few times now. So it is a relatively stable level. We could get a long here. I don't love that we had a failed breakout of the level at one point. That makes it a little less relevant, but we could get a triple test of the level here with the higher low. So it is setting up here. Now, we don't have a new low made on the downtrend, so there's a little bit of risk there, but there is a second entry there, higher low, basically like a triple test of the level. We also have a short-term uptrend that is in play there, so we can see if it plays out. It's not, I would say it's not the best setup I've ever seen because you don't have a new low made here. So you have to be careful of these ones. When you don't have the new low made, this could sweep everybody and trap all these longs and just completely dump on them. So let's see if it does. Oh, we're listening to the duo track? Oh, I don't mean to have this on HD. It's probably messing up my stream. Let's go back. Start this one over. This was a track I did with a friend of mine, playing on the Nordleys, and he's playing on another scale, the EB La Serena, which is called the Mermaid scale. Really cool track that we did. I'm hoping to do another jam with him soon. Anyway, if you want to check out my other music, it's just under my name, Nick Bannock. That's what we're listening to. Full disclosure there, everybody. Shameless plug for myself. Anyway, how's everybody doing? What's going on? How is your trading day? Let's ask. Let's do a poll here. Can we do a poll? Let's get a poll going. You're only getting 2 options today. Hold on a second here. What do we got? All right, we got a poll going in the chat here. Oh, man, I always do that. I meant to say, how was your Monday? And it says, how as your Monday? You gotta be kidding me, dude. Gotta be kidding me, this guy. This guy can't even type. So your only options are absolute fire or like the abysmal tide. No in between. We're going full polarity today. So if anybody wants to know what I'm talking about when I say the abysmal tide, I can't play it because I can't play it. Oh, let me see if I can show you. It's not really called the abysmal tide. I combined 2 things, but this is inspired by an actual song called The Dismal Tide, right here. The Dismal Tide by The Hope Conspiracy from 2009. Really cool track. Really great band. Shout out to anybody who likes hardcore music. Just I went to, so the last 2 days I was actually in Portland. I took my oldest son, who's a teenager, to a hardcore show called the Northwest Hardcore Fest. So if anybody's in Portland area or the Northwest, you might know about it. Northwest Hardcore Fest, 2 days of hardcore music. And anybody who doesn't know this about me, I'm from New Jersey originally. 2 New Jersey bands played last night. So super fun. One of them was called Shattered Realm, and they're a band that I had not seen play in like 20 years. It was so good. Had a lot of fun. And yeah, just really good stuff. Really great vibes. Got to see Magnitude. They're a North Carolina band. They played 2 nights ago. That was awesome. So if anybody ever was wondering, even though I make handpan music and listen to a lot of chill stuff, my favorite type of music is hardcore music. And I used to be in a hardcore band. So there you go. We got a 50-50 so far on Absolute Fire and Like the Abysmal Tide. Oh man. Come on, we need to get more. Let's see if we can get a 68% win rate on Absolute Fire. Shout out to you, Jackie. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, so let's see. Oh, wait, no, sorry, Jordan. Sorry, that was Jordan who said that. 68%. Sorry, I thought it was Jackie, but okay, so Jordan, you managed 68% win rate. What was your risk reward on that though? So 68% win rate with what? Was it like a 1-to-1 risk reward? Because if so, then you were making money. Or was it something different? Let me know. Oh, nice. Kubla Khan, Texas. Nice, nice. See what happened here? You see what I was saying about how that was a dicey place to go long? We had the second entry long, high or low, but you see why the short-term trend lines are important? We didn't have a new low made. And that's what I said. I said it was risky there, and there you go. This closed outside and made a new high, trapped all these longs. Now all these longs are sitting sideways, and they're just waiting. And this thing could totally trap them, dump on them. There's a second entry short right there. You don't want to short right in the lows either. So this is one of those spots where you just don't want to be in this. You don't want to be in this. Small 1-to-1 on good days, generally negative 1-to-1. Okay, so that's the thing, Jordan. I trade with a negative risk reward like that. That's how I trade. I'm a scalper. But again, with an opening range breakout strategy, I think you pretty much have to trade those with at least a 1-to-1 for it to work, because you're not trading a setup that's guaranteed. And so I think you just need your setup to be slightly above 50% probability with a 1-to-1. I think if you start going negative risk reward on an orb strategy, it's going to be really, really difficult. I think. I don't know if it could even work, to be honest. Oh, James, congrats, man. Congrats on passing a funded account. I don't have any details on your strategy. I have no idea what your strategy is, how you trade, or anything. So it's hard for me to give you a good idea here. What I always say, though, is this. Treat it the way you would treat an actual cash account, right? So I don't know what size account you're on, but generally the best approach is to start with either one contract, like one ES contract, or trade the micros for a little while until you can build up your account and slowly increase over time. So start real small is my advice almost always. Basically, you want to be at a size that you're not super freaking out and anxious while you're trading. Jackie, that is awesome. I'm actually, that's really, be proud of yourself for that. What size are you trading with to get there? How many contracts? Just curious. And is it micros or minis? Nice, James, nice. That's awesome. I'm glad that you like my channel. That's cool. So I think trading, if you're trading NQ, I think 2 NQ contracts is going to be too big at first, for a lot of people. So there you go. Yeah, Jordan, here's the thing. I'm going to tell you this just straight up. No sugarcoating, no BS. Learning how to become a price action trader and doing what I do is it takes a long time. It's very simple when you start to understand it, but it's not easy at all. It does take a long time. It takes a ton of dedication, but once you figure it out, it's amazing because you basically can look at everything on the chart and know why it did or didn't work. Like, it's almost like, man, it's just like, you don't have to be like, oh, yeah, this setup just failed. It's like, I can tell you straight up, like, where setups are bad, where they're good, how they came out. Like, you can learn from your chart every single day. Whereas, like, when you're trading these other strategies, like the orb or something else that just has, like, a certain win rate level and all that, you're trying to trade more like a robot then. Whereas, like, what I'm doing is not trading like a robot. There's a lot of subjectivity involved. Emotions are there. They're always going to be there. And it's not like, I'm not trading as an algorithm. I'm trading as a human that actually discerns what's happening in the market. And I think it's just a more sustainable method. That's just my opinion from trying out so many things over time. All right, let me see what we got here. What do we got? Jackie, micros 4 and 2. Hey, that's actually pretty sweet. That's amazing to get to that level of profit on micros. Like, shout out to you. That's pretty amazing. So clearly you're learning the strategy pretty well. So shout out to you. Shout out to you. Hoping to see you in the community over the long term too. Hoping to see you in the community over the long term. One thing I did launch recently, this is going to be pretty sweet. So I launched this new thing. I'll tell everybody about it. It's real quick. It's called the Freedom Collective. And it automatically starts after you've been in the paid community for 90 days, or if you upgrade to an annual membership. The idea here is to really create like almost like an extra layer for people who are like long-term on learning the strategy. Because a lot of people come and go and they're like, oh, I'm going to try to do the thing for a month. And yeah, you can do the thing. You can do my thing for a month and learn, go through the course. If you just want the course, that's fine. But that's not really like sustainable. The way to go is to do it over a long term and have a longer term commitment. So I created this for the people who are long term on their commitments to it. And basically, this is starting for people once they're in the community for 90 days. And they're going to have a separate monthly call with me for just people who have been in the community for 90 days or upgraded to annual. And then also, there's a separate Discord chat that they get access to. And it changes your name color in Discord so that people can see that you're somebody who actually has been in it for a while. That way, when new people are joining the community and talking, they'll be like, oh, this guy, he knows Nick's strategy probably better because this guy or girl, because they've been taught, he or she has been in there for whatever, 90 days, 100 days, whatever it is. And so that's a cool thing. And it just allows people who have been in the community longer to connect with each other. So, so that's a really cool thing. And I think that that's like that's a good way for people to really connect. So I wanted to let everybody know that. And our first call for this, because I just launched it, is going to be in mid-September. And the reason I did that is because we had a lot of members join in late May and early June. And I wanted them to be able to be on the first call for the Freedom Collective. And those will get recorded as well. They're going to be like a separate kind of like different style of call where we go over even more advanced price action concepts and just really like check in with people on how their journey's going and stuff like that. So I wanted to just real quick talk about that. It's just like another benefit to the longer term thinking on this. Let's see. Yeah, for sure, James, for sure. Listen, James, I think the ES is better. If you want to trade NQ, you can, but I do think the ES is better. I'm not going to talk about it too much, but I'll tell you, your mileage may vary, but I think it'd be wise for you to try trading on a demo account on ES to get a feel for it and see how it compares with NQ for you. Okay, so Jackie, you're trading ES, not MES. So you're trading the minis then. So you're trading four ES contracts? Is that what you're saying? Because if you're doing that, you can make $700 in like probably just a couple of trades. All right, so we did bounce off the lows. I'm actually going to lower the range to that close because it's just one or two ticks below that one. I'm going to still say that that's pretty much a bounce off the lows of the range. Not one that you would take a long there with the equal low like that. That's a dangerous long. It's a dangerous long to take right there. There is a higher low possibility here. This is played out to the downside. So we could actually see this thing go higher here. We might get a higher low. Is it a good one? We'll see. We'll see. I don't love it. I don't love it. Draw it like this as a possible, little possible short-term trend. Something like that in there. Let's get a few more likes going. We only got 26. I was going for 40 today, but I'm probably going to wrap the stream soon. I think we're not going to hit it, obviously. We're way below. I forgot to ask for people to give the like, but anyway, if you're here, hit that like button. We're trying to get to 40 likes to have a goal celebration. We're trying to get to 60 subscribers, so we only need 3 more subscribers to hit that goal. If we get to one of those, we'll have a goal celebration. Okay, James, what does that acronym mean? Because I only know that acronym to mean one thing that is completely unrelated to trading as far as... So let me know. Let me know what that means. We might, Jordan, we might. I haven't really looked. Let me see. What do we got going on this week? Here, let me look. Let's see. Let's pull up the old financial juice. The old financial juice. Yeah, there's not really much going on the 19th, it looks like. We do have a bunch of Trump meetings. Who knows what's going to happen with any of that? You never know. We do have the FOMC. You're right, on Wednesday. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. With the FOMC days, when we have the minutes meetings like this, I usually tell people stop trading at least like 30 minutes before that because it gets ridiculous. You're better off just ending the day early on those days and just not trying to trade any of that time. That's my opinion. But I'm a morning session trader, so it doesn't really affect me anyway. DOS. Candle range theory. Okay, so James, I'm going to be honest with you. I thought that you were talking about critical race theory. And I was about to be like, dude, I'm not going to talk about that. That's what I thought you were talking about. Classic. Classic. Candle range theory. I have literally never heard of it. So let me do a search for it and see what it even means. Candle range theory? Because sometimes there's stuff called this. There's like, sometimes there's things that are... What is this? Is this like an ICT thing? Is this an ICT thing? Because if it's an ICT thing, then I'm immediately dubious. Classic. Can you send me a link in the chat to like where I can see something about this? I only see YouTube videos about it. I don't see like here, let me see. Here's a Forex article on it. Let me see. All right, let me see. Here's an art. Is this? It's not ICT. Okay. I saw an ICT article on it, and I'm like, oh, not ICT. Please, not ICT. Anything but ICT, please. It looks like it to me. Manipulation. Every time that I hear people start talking about manipulation, I'm just like, ah, here we go. Here we go. Oh, it does negate it. Okay. It looks pattern was given by Wyckoff. So it's a Wyckoff strategy. Is that right? Let me know. I'm literally learning about this right now. So if I'm way off base, just share some insight with me because I don't know anything about this strategy. And I don't even know if this is a good website. I've never even heard of this. So I'm just looking here to see what this is. Accumulation, manipulation, distribution. Anytime that people talk about manipulation, I just like, I'm immediately dubious of it. I'm like, look, I don't really see the market like that. It's just not how I see it. What time frame do I use? 2000 tick. You can see it up here. I use the 2000 tick chart on the ES futures market. Every candlestick is 2000 trades. That's how I look at it. Okay, let me look at psychology behind the candlestick. Okay, candlestick range. Every higher time frame candlestick has a price range. Yeah, that's understandable. Okay. I see. So it's applying the power of 3 Wyckoff method to each candlestick. Is that right? Let me know if I'm accurate there. Is that what it means? Is that what it means, James? So it applies. The problem is, for me, I completely don't agree with the manipulation side of this. I think accumulation and distribution makes sense when you look at markets, but I don't think manipulation is really as big as some of these people talk about. I don't think that the market is stacked up to screw us over with manipulation, and they're trying like all this stuff. I'm like, I just don't believe any of that. I do think that in Forex, there's some weird stuff that does happen because brokerages are allowed to trade on their own platforms where they can see what people are doing. So I do think there's some dubious stuff that happens in Forex, especially, that doesn't really happen as much in futures. But, and also futures has a lot more volume, so I think it's less likely to have weird stuff going on. But neither here nor there. That's all conspiracy theory anyway. But what I was going to say is this. Every candlestick has something happening on a smaller time frame. We know that to be true. If I change this chart here to a 10,000 tick chart, it's going to look way different than what it looks like now. And of course, every single candlestick is going to have different things happening. If I lower the time frame, it's going to look different. We know that. We know that, you know, that's just basic information. Like, because all of the candlestick is telling us is where the price is going in a specific time frame, right? So to me, it doesn't matter though. It doesn't matter like that is true. What matters is what time frame are you actively trading? I don't really think that multi-time frame approaches are really that useful. I used to do it and I found it to not be that useful over time. It's like, yeah, like what are you learning from understanding that, you know, if you have a big bearish candle on a 1 hour chart, that on a 5-minute chart, there's ups and downs in it. Like, what are you actually learning there? To me, you're not really learning much. Like, all you're learning is that this happened, right? You're learning something like this. On a 5-minute chart, the price action looks like this. And on a 1 hour candle, the price action just looks like this. Like, it doesn't really tell me much. Okay, yeah, all that tells me is that if I was trading the 5-minute chart, there was probably a trend that I could scalp short. That's all it tells me. And if I'm trading the 1 hour chart, I have to look at more candles to figure out what I'm doing. The price action is going to be the same on every single time frame based on the context of that time frame. So like, if I have a downtrend on a time frame, I can look for shorts. If I have a downtrend on a bigger time frame, I can look for shorts. I don't really know what you're learning from like the multi-time frame thing. So let me know if I'm off base. But and then what I will say is that the smaller you go on your time frame, the less reliable it starts to become. Like if I change this to a 200 tick chart, there's just not enough price. There's not enough time in the candle to really give me anything meaningful. You're going to see so much of just boom, 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 like just crazy wicky price action up and down that it's not really going to give you much to trade off of on a signal. Now you can do it. You just have to look at a larger swing and ignore things that we like to trade, like second entries and stuff. You'd have to trade it a little different. But you can still draw a trend line even on a tiny time frame and trade off the trend lines and whatnot and have it be somewhat reliable. It's just going to be harder for it to be reliable the smaller the time frame is. Similarly, if I pulled up a daily chart, I could trade second entries on a daily chart. Totally works. It's just that, you know, you're trading on daily candles. It's kind of like you need to have a huge position size, stop loss, all that sort of stuff. Not huge position size, but huge stop loss. Like, you have to be able to sustain it on whatever asset you're trading. So to me, everything I need to know is within the context of how I trade. With the tick chart, 2,000 ticks, the candle closing where it does tells me more than I would learn from trying to break it down further into some sort of accumulation distribution model and all that. And there you go. DOS, I used to look at the 10K chart. I don't anymore. I just don't find it to be super useful for me. However, there are some trade setups that did work from it pretty nice. Like, for example, like sometimes you would get like a triple test on like the 10K that would also line up to be like a second entry on the 2,000 tick or whatever. And that was kind of cool. But really, like, I found it to be not very useful, so I stopped using it. We're at 30 likes. We're still trying to get to 40 for our stream goal. We need 2 more subscribers to get to 5460. Those are our 2 stream goals. If we get to one of those, we will have a stream goal celebration. So let's see if we can get there. Did I miss any comments? Okay, Shock, you asked. Okay, my time frame is 2,000 tick, which means that each candlestick is 2,000 trades. So each candlestick is printing. You see this countdown as trades happen. So I don't trade a 5 minute or 1 minute or whatever. The candlestick prints based on how many trades, based on 2,000 trades happening. So it's like this candlestick printed at 10:02:02. This one printed 3 minutes later. Right now the price action's slow, so it's taking like 3 minutes per candle. Usually it's like 1 minute or less. Did that make sense? Let me know. Let me know. All right, everybody, we are going to wrap up here soon. So let's see if we can get to our stream goal. Let me change the beats real quick. Let's get something a little bit more high. Let me get this one. We get this one. This one's a little faster paced. A little faster paced beat. I haven't listened to it. Oh, come on, man. Oh, I broke it. Fully broken. Hit the old refresh. All right. We only need 2 more subscribers to hit our goal and 9 more likes. So everybody that's here, if you haven't done so yet, please hit that like button and the subscribe. I do think this is a slightly wider up channel. Possibly. You could see, like, you could draw it like this, but that's just like, sorry, like this with the close outside new high. But I think that there might be a possibility of a wider channel. Remember I mentioned before we might get a higher low? I wasn't even looking, but we actually did get one right here. There is a higher low there, so you could look at this like a first entry, second entry long with a higher low. You could kind of look at it like a visual second entry long. It's really like correction to a new low with a higher low is really what it is. So it's kind of like a failed breakout of this level with a higher low. You could look at that as a possible trade. I do think it's not perfect, but that is there. I was not paying attention to it when it happened. So it's kind of like a higher low after a failed breakout. I don't think it's ideal, but it's okay. But ended up being a pretty boring day overall with the market. So, you know, that's going to happen sometimes. All right, everybody, let's see. Can we get 2 more subscribers? Can we get 9 more likes? Because I'm going to wrap it. Oh, we got 1 more. We only need 1 more subscriber to hit a stream goal. We might not get to 40 likes, but we might get to 54, 60 subscribers. So what's going to happen first? Maybe we'll get both and we can have a fun stream goal. Come on, everybody. Let's go. Let's go. We're so close. We're so close. All right, let's see. We got 6 more likes to go. 1 more subscriber. Real quick, I'll plug it one more time. Check out the link tree. Check out the link tree. Everything is in there that you need to know. Check it out. Check it out. Oh, what do I see? What do I see? Goal! It's a goal. Shout out to everybody. Premier League just started again. Liverpool's first game of the season was a win. Shout out to everybody for getting us to our subscriber goal on stream today. We haven't had one of those in a while. Let me see. I missed a few questions, so let me get back to those. Jackie, you said, would I enter that at the close of that candle? Yes, you would have to enter that at the close, one tick above the bar like normal. And it's a 12-tick bar, so there's some risk there. There's actually a failed second entry short setting up here. Look at this. We might actually get a failed second entry short here. It's not an ideal placement because it's kind of back towards the consolidation, sort of like the middle of a range. But we are forming a possible failed second entry short. If we get a nice bullish bar here, this thing might run all the way to the highs. So that could be pretty cool. We'll see if it happens. Yeah, I think that you're right, Jordan. The 2000 tick shows you so much good stuff. It really does. It really does. Yeah, by the way, everybody, I'm really looking forward to the Freedom Collective group. I know some of you are newer to the paid community, so it's going to take a little longer before you're in that, but I think it's going to be really cool. I do think it's going to be really cool. I'm looking forward to that. All right, let's see. So we are... Hey, shout out to everybody for hitting those subscriber targets today. Appreciate you all. We only need 6 more likes to hit our goal. If we hit it in the next few minutes, we'll have another goal celebration. But otherwise, I'm probably going to wrap the stream up. There's the failure. There's the failure. It does form... Is this a wider channel? I mean, if you draw this slightly wider, it actually fits really nice on that candle. The problem that we run into here is, again, my original channel was really tight like this. Right? So you run into this conflict of, is this a close outside new high? But I think that this is a nice little failure here. How much room do you have to the highs there? Not a lot. Only 1 point. So most people that are short right now have their stop losses right here. Right? Their stop losses are right above this bar. So what could happen here is this thing could just smack straight through that. And if it does, what we'll probably see is a really bullish candle for a second. It might not close bullish, but it will stop everybody out here, I think. So let's see what we get. They're getting stopped out probably right now. So let's see if they fight to keep it. Let's see. How many ticks is that? 1.25. But there you go. I mean, I called this one as it was forming. Let's see if it let's see what we get here. Whoops. Oh, I can't click my line. It's in the wrong spot. Hold on. I'm trying to move the line over just so we can monitor that. There we go. So most of these people who are short are stopped out right there. Some of them probably have their stop losses slightly further back. I do think this is going to shove straight through. Let's see here. Heck yeah, Robert. What up, fam? Good to have you here. Thanks for the subscribe. I appreciate you. Jacoby got the scalp. Nice. Nice. Das got the scalp too. Nice. Good to see everybody getting some scalps. If you were in this trade, I can mark this one as a green, even though it didn't tick through. It's there. I called it out in real time. This is one of those ones, though, where it's a failed second entry short. Basically, it's a second high or low within this channel. It's probably going to continue. I think it's probably going to come up to the close price of Friday, most likely. But we'll see. That's my most likely scenario here. Even if you didn't get ticked through here, you would have gotten filled. It played with that order so many times. That's fine. There it goes. Now it's going to go through. So that's a nice little failure there. I probably should have taken that one. Well, unfortunately, I will say this. More than half of you said that you had that your Monday was like the abysmal tide. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's not funny. I'm sorry, everybody that had a hard Monday. But try to learn from it and come back stronger tomorrow. All right, let me see. What do we got here? John, can I share the link to that 3 candles thing? John, I will say this. I don't think it's useful. I looked it up. I don't think it's useful. I wouldn't waste your time on it. On that thing. That was me just looking it up because someone asked me about it. I wouldn't waste your time learning about it. It's just going to distract you from the real strategy. So that's just my opinion. Just, yeah. Awesome, Robert. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. Yeah, DOS. I mean, that's in the middle of a range. Like I said, it's a little dicey right there. It's not really like a key reversal zone, but it is a nice little failure. That's exactly the type of failure you want to see. It's just a little dicey because, like, look at this area where we got stuck earlier, near the, like, where, like, we've been getting stuck there all day. So you don't know for sure that it's going to work out. All right, I'm going to wrap up the stream here in a second. If we get 5 more likes, we'll have 1 more stream goal celebration. So if you're here and you haven't liked the stream yet, hit that like now. We're trying to get to 40. We're at 35. So I'll give it a second here just to see if it happens. I'm going to give it like maybe 2 minutes. And then I'm going to wrap up. Just want to see if it comes up to the highs anyway. So I'm trying to hang out for a second. I actually am streaming for way longer than I planned. I would plan on being done already. DOS. DOS, I have no... How... Here's the low. Move up. First entry right here. Move up. Second entry short right there. So that's only a failed second entry short to me. I don't know what you mean by how would you see that as a third? I have no idea. What you looking at, son? What you looking at, son? DOS is making so many dad jokes that he's confusing me. All right. Yeah, DOS, let me know what you mean, because I don't see how that's a third, how you're seeing that as a third. Am I looking at it wrong? Hey, how are we going to lose it? We gained a subscriber, lost a subscriber in one go there. And a like. Gained a like, lost a like. Gained a subscriber, lost a subscriber. That's a bummer. But hey, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. I thought we were going to hit our goal. We were at 36 likes for a second. But probably not going to get there. I'm going to wait. We're at 36 likes. Who's texting me? Guys, I just got the best spam text I've ever seen. I got a spam text promoting from Safeway, Cheap Chicken Monday. You got to be kidding me these days, dude. That's like the worst marketing I think I've ever seen. It's got to be the worst marketing I've ever seen. And I used to own a marketing agency. All right. Let me see here. I'm at 36 likes. We need 4 more to get to 40. Can we do it? You start counting from 0. What? DOS, I got... This would be the low, right? That is 0. So then it goes up, tries to go lower. So first entry is right here. First entry short is right there. Blue line. And then second entry short is right there. And then it fails. Right? New low. So 0. First entry short. Second entry short. I don't see how else you could look at that. I don't know what you mean. Hopefully that makes sense. I don't know how else you could look. Right. 1 leg, 2 leg. Failure. Right? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I don't know what you're talking about. You got to message me a screenshot in Discord or something so I can know what you're talking about. Draw it on your screenshot. Take a screenshot. Draw it on your screenshot and put it in Discord, and then I'll take a look at it. If you're, I think you're probably in my Discord. I think. All right. Anyway, let me see. We only need 3 more likes to hit our goal. I was gonna wait 2 minutes, but now I'm like, guys. Can you guys just hit the like button so we can get to 40? We only have, let's see, we're at 10:18. I hate to leave right before we're like 3 likes away from our stream goal. Can we get there? If you haven't subscribed, definitely do that too, of course. Of course. This is, why is this is trying to move on me a bit. Let me try to stretch this a bit. This is real, like, questionable now. I don't want to have to keep widening this channel to make it fit. But it's like, none of this looks like a convincing close outside. So I'm going to widen it only very slightly there. All right. Oh, okay, gotcha, DOS. I didn't realize that you were using a counter. Okay, gotcha, gotcha. It's probably because there's some equal lows in there. There's some equal lows in there that kind of mess things up. That's probably what it is. Sometimes the equal lows cause it to get a little bit funky on those things. Okay. 2 more likes to go, and we'll be at 40, which is our goal for today's stream. Shout out to everybody who got us to the sub goal. I mean, come on. Let's get a count. Let's see. Can I get a countdown timer? I need a better countdown timer. Let me get a countdown. Can we get a countdown timer? Let me see. Let me see if I can get one here. Does Google make one these days that's pretty decent? I thought maybe they would give me one. Let me see here. Trying to see if I can use this website to make one. Ah, it's too crazy. Too crazy. That's just too crazy. Well, we lost a like there, so there we go. Jordan, thank you, friend. Thank you. I thought we were going to get to 40 likes. We might still do it. We're at 38 again. Keeps going up and down. We only need 2 more. Hey, everybody that's here, if you haven't liked the stream yet, do it real quick just so we can get to 40 to wrap up the stream with a goal celebration. We haven't had a double goal celebration 2 times in one day in a while. I want to kick off Monday right, so I'm over here stalling. If anybody was here last week, I think on Friday's stream, either Thursday or Friday, we pulled out the snake. That was pretty fun. Forget what day that was. Let me see. I'm going to see if I can find it real quick. It was on, hang on, I'm going to look. What day was that? Anybody remember? I'm going to find it. I'm going to find it here. Oh, nice. You still got a runner, DOS. That's cool. That's cool. I think was it on Friday that we had the snake out? Anybody remember? I'm gonna look. I'm gonna look. Give me 1 second. Is it? Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Freedom Algo. Give me a second to find it. Mute that. Or it might have been Thursday. I'm gonna look. I'm gonna look. Hang on. I got my chat minimized for a second, so bear with me. No, it's not there. I think it was on Friday. Let's see if we can find it. We did. There it is. It was Friday. All right, let's see. DOS. Yep, if anybody wasn't here on Friday, I'm going to pull this up because I think it's worth showing again. So let me close this. Change this quality. Pull up Friday's stream real quick. Here's Friday's stream. On Friday's stream, right here. Is it not working? Oh, I'm blocking it with my camera. Hold on. Hold on. Whoops. There it is. On Friday's stream, we had the snake out. Pretty dope. I have it muted right now. So we pulled out the snake. I think I expanded it out even. There it is. This is from Friday, everybody. We brought Alice out. She was in shed. And I think she shed yesterday. So anybody that's wondering what's behind me all the time, there she is from Friday. She was in shed, so her scales are not as shiny because she was about to shed. And that's why her eyes looked blue. Anyway, wanted to share that just because it was fun. Fun little moment on Friday. Good times. If you want to go check it out, it's on the Friday stream. It's on the Friday stream. All right, everybody. I think we're going to wrap it up. We missed our stream goal, it looks like, by 2 likes, but we at least got our subscriber goal. So if anybody wants to hit that like last minute, go for it, and we'll see. But I think that's probably it, everybody. I think that's probably it. I hope everybody has an amazing rest of the week. I'll be back tomorrow. So right after the stream ends, I'll get the one set up for tomorrow, and we'll go from there. So thanks, everybody, for being here. Appreciate you. Happy Monday. And I will get everything set up. Oh, we're at 39 likes. I'll get everything. We only need one more like to hit our goal. So maybe it'll happen while I'm finishing talking here. So if you're here and you haven't liked, go ahead and do it. We only need one more to hit our goal. And then I'll do a quick celebration just because we're, oh, hey. Goal! It's a goal. Thanks for getting us to our goal right as we wrap up the stream, everybody. Thanks for getting us there. Appreciate you all. Thanks for being here. I'm going to end the stream now, and then I'll get the one scheduled for tomorrow. Same time tomorrow. I'll see you all then. Cheers, everybody. Take care.